Hey, what's going on, guys? This is my last day before I travel out to Miami to compete in the U.S. National Championships for men's fitness. And I am going to go through a day of eating. It's not a typical day of eating, it's a lot less than normal, but a lot of the foods are the same, and I will explain. So, um, here we go. This is my office. My sister actually helped me renovate it. She's a great interior designer. So here's where I've been practicing my posing. I've been in quarantine. I have an office downtown that I can escape to and meet clients at. Um, but oftentimes I just work from home because I can do it remotely and I can get my meals, and it's a lot more chill. I can wear stuff like this. Alright, so I'm just waking up. Not a lot of sleep and not a lot of food. So bear with me on this one. So I'm starving. Let's get started. Alright, guys, so what I have every morning for the most part are egg whites or eggs and oatmeal. So right now I'm just going with a little bit of oatmeal and a little bit of egg whites because I am not far away from a show. Usually I'll add in some almond butter, some peanut butter, no salt, no sugar, or as low as possible. And I'll throw some blueberries in there sometimes. Sometimes I'll even throw in some sugar-free, like maple syrup or something like that, some bananas. Depends on if I'm trying to add size or not. For now, that is not the case. So here's what I've got going now. Egg whites. Got this peanut butter. I have been eating a ton of almond butter, so I was mixing it up. So no sugar, super low carb, high protein, high good fat. So this is a great deal. These green pans, got them on Amazon. It's green pan. They don't stick. You can replace them every like year or something. I eat a lot of food. So, highly recommend because it's so nice to just get the eggs right off whatever you're cooking and have it not stick to the pan. So this is a cup, by the way. You get pretty good at it. It's 1 cup of egg whites. So egg whites are nothing but protein. It's about 25 grams. And what I like to do to add in some flavor, use a lot of this Mrs. Dash salt-free, calorie-free seasoning. This is Southwest Chipotle. It's pretty delicious. Sprinkle that in there. And then I'm gonna get started on some oatmeal too. And so with the oatmeal, guys, you can eat whatever. I have steel cut oats, these old fashioned oats, and traditional whatever. Oats are oats, and they're really cheap. So just make sure they're not the sugar packet kind. This has no sugar, and it's nothing but good carbs. It's healthy. And this I'll add in cinnamon. Cinnamon lowers the glycemic index of anything you're eating. So what that means is it's going to slow down the digestion of it. It's going to spike your insulin less, which is healthy. So you gotta spice it up. I love sriracha. It has like nothing in it. I mean, 0 calories. Really minimal sodium. So it's nothing. And I like it on eggs. I put it on everything, guys. Like meat, any kind of meat, fish, chicken, whatever, turkey. All right. So I'm adding in these frozen blueberries. I love the frozen. So frozen fruits and veggies is what I'm all about because they go bad so quick. And you get a huge bag, lasts forever. So, and then I put in some peanut butter in there. 2 flat tablespoons. So, almond butter, nut butter, peanut butter, whatever kind is any kind of fat, like coconut oil, whatever. It's really calorically dense, so it's important to make a spoonful a real spoonful and not just make it massive and heaping. So flat. Otherwise, you're eating a lot more calories than you think. So, looking good here. Oatmeal's done. Again, I'm in an extreme cut for me right now, which is probably normal food for everyone else. So, I would never say just follow somebody else's diet blindly, but it's not the worst place in the world to start because I'm eating, right now, high 2,000 calories. And my maintenance though is like mid 3s. So it's a good enough cut for me. But I'm over 200 pounds in this shape, and I am 6'2" and active. So here we have it. This is the breakfast. Got some oatmeal. 3/4 of a cup of oatmeal cooked with a 1/2 cup of blueberries and 2 tablespoons of good peanut butter, meaning no sugar, no salt. And I've got a cup of egg whites and some sriracha. All right, guys, so before I eat, and I'm starving, I'll show you what I've kind of got going. I really have minimal food in the house right now because I'm going to be leaving on a trip. My family's gone, so there is nothing in here, but it's like cribs. This is what they gave me as a substitution for egg whites. They're eggs, it's not the same thing. So my family eats eggs, I don't. I like a lot of sauces because you got to mix it up and it just makes it a little juicier and makes it, taste better. So this is a good one. Heinz 57 as far as the stuff's concerned. 20 calories, tablespoon. A little bit of sugar, not too bad. Mustard is always a good option. This one is delicious. Southwest hot mustard. Okay, and that's the extent of my boring fridge. And then, so this is what I'm talking about for veggies. Like sweet potatoes, throw them in the microwave, like Michael Scott. Green beans, asparagus, broccoli, whatever. Yeah, it's just easy. And then there's ground turkey breast, 99% lean. I like this at the end. I'm so sick of fish right now. I can't eat it right now. Can't take it. And I won't. And so this is, like minimal sodium. Super clean source of protein. Here's some supplements I use. Honestly, I use this multivitamin, Alpha Wolf Nutrition Next Level. It is packed with everything. It's a great performance one. So if you do a lot of working out, and especially if you're on a cut, then I highly recommend you get a good multivitamin. You can use my code on that, Team Ben, and you're just, you're replenishing everything. You're just topping off the tank. And get a little bit more energy in the day. Use fish oil every day, a few times a day. I kind of go overboard on some of that stuff because it's really cheap and it's great for your heart, and I'd rather have a little bit more than less. If it's slightly wasted, so be it. We've got some cranberry. We all take this. It's good for your kidneys. So that's it for now. What we got in here? Okay, I take glutamine all the time, before and after a workout, sometimes before bed. If you mix it in with a protein shake, it increases the absorption of the protein. Pre-workout, I use this Alpha Wolf Uncaged. I was actually involved in the formulation of it. There's no caffeine in it, but it gives you a great pump. Very, very clean. And then I use creatine. What else? Okay, so I normally just fill up this gallon jug with BCAAs, flavored ones. This is great. It's good. Just to make it taste good. But towards the end of a show, it's got salt, and I don't want to hold water. And so then I'll switch to just this plain powder. Also super cheap. It smells awful, but it doesn't taste bad, thank God. And that's really it. Let me microwave up these sweet potatoes. And then got some red quinoa in here. I don't care about the color. Sometimes I have red, sometimes I have white, sometimes I have multicolored. I like quinoa though. And it's a great, I eat a lot of it in brown rice. White rice, if I'm not cutting. Nothing wrong with white rice and white potatoes, guys. It's higher on the glycemic index. If you're diabetic or something, maybe watch out, but otherwise it's healthy. It's way better than eating like bread or pasta or something. So there we have it. We'll get back to you on the next meal. Okay, so breakfast was 33 grams of protein, 38 grams of protein, 33 grams of carbs, 20 grams of fats, 19, and for a total of about 450 calories. All right, we're back here now for lunch. So, what have we got? I'm realizing I do a lot of cooking like Michael Scott with the frozen vegetables and the Foreman grill. I've had a million different Foreman grills in my life. In college, I ate like 10 burgers a day on the Foreman grill. Okay, and then now I'm using some onion and herb seasoning on it. So I'm just a person that I'm always really busy, and so anything time saving, you get to a point. Of course I love good tasting food and stuff, but you find your ways and making it healthy. It's like, this is so quick. So I threw on one of those turkey breasts, ground turkey squares, and it's like 5 or 10 minutes on the Foreman grill. And then one of these sweet potatoes in the microwave. So gonna get it started. And usually I have avocados that I would add in there, but these ones are not ready, so make do. Okay. So I'm gonna eat probably half of this potato. See what that weighs. I weigh everything all the time too. 4.5. So this is what I've got. Food scale on Amazon is like $15, and all the different units. So it's really key because you just, especially until you really have it dialed down, it's good to know. And then I still like to even do it in the off season or whatever because um, it just gives you an idea like how you're responding. If I'm getting a little too fat or if I'm not gaining enough muscle, I can look at exactly what I'm eating and go from there. Okay, so while we wait, I'll just talk about kind of what I generally eat. So I really eat a minimal amount of food, like different types of food. Um, every meal, for the most part, has carbs and fats and protein. So my protein sources in the morning, like I said, I always have egg whites and oatmeal, and so and then I'll add like I said, almond butter or something like that to it. So you get a little of everything, and then the other meals are just you kind of like swap around as you see fit. But I'll have protein and carbs and fats, and so usually like a lunch or a snack or a dinner is one of the following proteins: that lean turkey breast, chicken breast, like cod or salmon, and really my favorite thing to eat is steak. I'll be honest, and I eat it in the off season more than now. But I eat a lot of like top sirloin is clean, flank steaks clean, filet mignons clean. I love all that. And then for carbs, I usually do I eat a lot of quinoa. It has a lot of protein for a grain. Brown rice, sweet potato. It's just nice to mix them up sometimes. If you start getting sick of something, just swap it out with something else because it's way more important to just be consistent with good eating, and sometimes your body responds well to it. Like in the off season too, especially right before or after a workout, I'll just go with a white potato or a white rice, and I like it. It tastes good, and it hits you faster. And during those times, it's ideal to have a little bit faster of a carb because if it's right before a workout, you'll use that as fuel and energy, have a better workout, and afterwards it replaces all the glycogen that's been lost. So, and then I have a lot of avocado, like avocado with those combinations. Then I'll have a shake after working out. I have whey isolate. It hits you fast and it's a better source of protein than some of the others. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's way less than like any other type of protein, like meat. And then I'll add in another in the day. And especially if I'm like traveling or in the car, I know it's going to be a while. The most critical thing is just getting protein, especially in every few hours. So it's just an easy way to do that sometimes. Like have it in the car and just at least you're getting some calories and some protein. Because I eat every couple hours, every 2 or 3 hours. And it's not like I have a set amount of meals a day, but it's a lot. And especially if you're counting shakes and stuff, it's probably like 8 or something like that. More if I'm bulking, but then the meals are just bigger. That's really all. Eat every few hours, have a balanced diet for health, and then make it less if we're trying to drop fat, and more if you're trying to gain muscle. Let's keep it simple. So another thing about the timing, I have a lot of videos on my YouTube and stuff, and do check them out because they're in greater detail. And in my book, especially Health and Wealth, there's a lot of great and very detailed information. But timing has a lot to do with this, I think. You see that if it fits your macros, people, I guess that'll work. I mean, you can lose weight eating Skittles, but should you? So I generally, so those meals I was talking about, the carbs, the protein, the fat, I'll sub out the carbs towards the end of the day when I'm just not going to be as active anymore. and when I'm going to be winding down and Netflix and chilling and reading and whatever else I do. But then I would substitute for veggies, and I like to kind of like saute them up sometimes, throw in some onions, just make a variety. That's not only it's good for you, but it really fills you up, and it just seems like there's more on your plate, which can be a mental thing if you're cutting. Just beyond just having more of your stomach filled up. Having some veggies to just take up some volume, and then it just feels like you're eating a full plate. And they have carbs, but just minimal. So towards the end of the day, I suggest, especially if you're trying to lose fat, that you swap out the carbs for veggies. And then the times of the day where you can be the most carb heavy, I always say the morning, because you use it all day, and before and after the workouts. And then those are the times right before and after the workout that not only can you get away with a faster carb, but it might be better. It'll just get in your system and serve the purpose. So I stay away from junk, though. It doesn't mean you should just go to town, because a little goes a long way. If you have 30 grams, say, or 25 grams of carbs before or after, that will help replenish the glycogen, especially with the protein shake afterwards, and before too. I always like to have a meal within an hour before or after, and sometimes sooner. I can just get away with it. I don't eat like huge meals, so I'm not feeling bloated or anything, but I wouldn't like that. And then afterwards I always just have some carb and some in my shake, and then I'll just eat another meal probably within like the hour. Okay guys, so while I'm waiting for this meat to finish cooking here, this is what I'm bringing on the plane. I've got like I was mentioning, it's always good to have some protein. You never know when you're gonna run out or whatever, and so I've got a shake, BCAAs, and glutamine in there. A couple meals for the flights. This cooler bag, I'm just gonna pop it in my carry-on. I've got a discount code for it too. If you guys are interested, then DM me or leave a comment. But yeah, so you can bring food on the plane, just not too much powder and liquid, obviously. But in the top, you know, it unzips, and you can put forks in there, napkins, or whatever, a little protein powder or something. And yeah, that's what I'm doing, because I can't stress enough how important diet is to the equation, to your results. It's everything. And so failing to plan is planning to fail. Okay, we're back. So got the ground turkey going. Probably eat like 2/3 of this now, and save a little bit for later. So you guys can see, I'm really, it doesn't take very long. And this is just, it's everything to the results. If you just did this, if you just followed this video and ate this way and nothing else, and didn't even work out, you'd see great results, seriously. And you'd be healthier, like internally, just eating this kind of food in this way. So, geez, give it a try. Give it a try for a month and see how your results are. See how different you look. So, weigh it out. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna eat more than that. It's not enough. And also, I'm kind of, I'm making like individual meals right now, but normally I would just make a huge batch of this stuff. And then it's even faster and even easier. So I'm just gonna eat this whole thing. And normally, if I wasn't cutting, I'm only like doing this because I'm being super precise right before a show. But always otherwise, I just eat that whole thing. Okay, 10 ounces. Okay, so that meal ended up being 410 calories. It was 68 grams of protein, 27 grams of carbs, and 4 grams of fat. And that's ideal to not have that much fat because I will be working out soon. And so that's another thing. I avoid eating too much fat right before and after workout because I want to be burning fat and I want to be using the carbs for fuel and sparing my muscle and protein. So on to my post-workout meal. That was the last workout before I fly out of here. So I am doing 2 scoops of protein powder. This one is it's Fruity Pebbles flavored, so it is very delicious. Check this microwave. It tastes exactly like cereal milk. So it's kind of funny. Sometimes I'll have like a few different flavors because you have so much and you just get sick of it. Like sometimes something that's really good ends up getting really old. And now I'm into this for a little while. Okay, and then I've got 3/4 of a cup of oatmeal. And 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. So then in the shake, I will add in some BCAAs and, like I said, some glutamine too. Usually I'll hit the protein first and then the carbs later. I'll just have a shake ready to go at the gym. We are in our second lockdown here now. So unfortunately I'm in the garage doing millions of reps of bands and lightweight stuff. But I'll hit the protein shake, come home, and then have some carbs. Okay guys, so that post-workout meal was about 480 calories, about 60 grams of protein, I want to say, 30 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, something like that. And now I'm about to have dinner. Still no avocado. So it's just going to be a repeat of the last meal. Ground up turkey and sweet potato. So nothing really to report there. Okay, you guys, so I'm adaptive, and I made too much oatmeal before I leave, and so I had that instead of sweet potato. So I had that and a tablespoon of peanut butter, and now I'll probably just later on have more ground turkey, and then I'll just make a big batch of that, and sweet potato and avocado for tomorrow's plane ride. Thank God I'm sick of fish. For everyone on the plane, they'll be happy. It's not a good way to win friends or influence people eating fish on a plane. So that'll probably do it for me. I'm kind of done with the carbs for tonight. Maybe I'll have a little bit more almond butter or something, and then I'll just fill it up with protein for the rest of the day, and I usually do some coconut oil before bed, and it's pure fat. It's just good fat though. MCT oil, same thing. 1 tablespoon, 130 calories, 14 grams of fat, and that's it. But contrary to what you might think, it burns fat. So it's a good thing to have at the end of the night. It's healthy fat is good. So what I would do is kind of avoid having too many carbs and too much fat in the same meal. Earlier in the day, I like to do more carbs because I'll use them. And then later at night, when I need to still fill out the rest of the calories, I'll switch it up to fats. And now my final countdown for the day, it'll be 2,700 calories. That's really low for me. 300 grams of protein, 125 grams of carbs, and 110 grams of fats. And what I do, I have a macro app. It's called My Macros Plus, I think. And it's awesome because you can just like scan barcodes. There's a million different things in the database, and you can add in your food if not. But then you can just keep track of everything, and you have it down there, and you just set your stuff for the day. And so then all I'm doing is really, then it's kind of a more of an if it fits your macros type deal, because I only eat clean and I space it out and I taper the carbs, and so I'm doing it right. I'm not like fasting all day and then having ice cream before bed. But then ultimately, that's what matters, is that you're sticking within your parameters. It's a math equation. Calories in, calories out. If you burn more than you take in, you're going to lose fat, and vice versa if you're wanting to build muscle. And you just got to be careful that you don't build fat and lose muscle. So once you have it kind of dialed in, then it is a great way to just make sure you're hitting that math equation and getting enough too. Actually, so when I very first started kind of dieting down and getting really lean, the first time was just for a photo shoot, and I wanted to get to 5% or less. Most people never do that, and I just kind of wanted to do that and to see what I was capable of. And I've been pushing it in the gym forever. That's the easy part, but I have not had the nutrition down to the point where you could just get that shredded. And so that first time, it was really hard. I was really hungry. I really had to just really mind over matter that thing, and just it was tough. It's just gotten easier and easier as it's more of a lifestyle. And now it's not even hard. In fact, I'm not hungry during this cut. If anything, sometimes I've got to eat enough to make sure I don't lose all the hard-earned muscle that I've put on since the last show. So that's where these apps are good. I know a lot of people have MyFitnessPal and like that too. So whatever the case may be, just make sure it's pretty accurate and that you stick to it. And ultimately, you're using the same thing, so you can kind of see how your body responds, and there's just more inputs. There's more data over the long run. And if you've been using one thing, then you know what to expect. So highly, highly, highly recommend that, because diet is everything. I've had a few people come to me for advice and stuff on coaching and training. I can get you the results you want with diet alone, but definitely not training alone. And I'm the perfect example of that, because I have not changed the way I've been training, period. But simply changing the diet has allowed me to drop that last critical bit of body fat and get into the condition that I can be. So, of course, it's good for developing the muscle. Sorry, I have the hiccups. It's good for shaping the muscle, and it's good for your health. It's good to be strong. It burns way more calories than cardio. But the diet is not done through cardio. It's done through, the fat loss is done through diet. It's done through diet. You do some cardio to just rev up the metabolism. But lifting weights burns a hell of a lot more calories, and having muscle burns fat.
to hold that muscle, you're burning fat all the time. Sitting on the couch, sitting on your ass, you're burning fat. So, again, just keep that in mind, because so many people have it so wrong. And I don't know why they want to believe that they have to be on the Stairmaster for hours, or starve themselves, or fast, or come up with some crazy weirdo diet. Um, but lift weights, do some resistance training, lift as heavy as you can for the sets and reps that you've got, and then control everything with the diet. So, hope you enjoyed this, you guys. Thanks for hanging in for the whole thing. And let me know. I can do a bulking one. I'll be very excited to bulk and add on a little weight and add in some additional food. So, until next time.